Get out while the getting's good. That's right. We give you our top 4 Dynasty sell high candidates as the 2026 NFL offseason begins. Up next on the IBT podcast.
I've been going dummy, out of bounds, putting on a clinic. Stick around, carrots in my hardware. KC, caught him in the crosshair. Look at me, been the guy calling Mr. MVP. Keep your ass on the bench by my empty seat. Earn my stripes like I fits this league. Your dog's on the turf, my dog's in the street. You can find me somewhere in between. Never a dull moment like a movie scene. About to do the ops like I did this beat. Let them keep talking RG3. Coming to you live. This is the In Between Fantasy Football Podcast.
All right, and welcome into the In Between Fantasy Football Podcast, your place for both a refreshing and feel-good take on fantasy football and NFL gambling. We are currently in the thick of Winter Storm Fern, so I figured we'd ride it out the only way we know how by jumping back into the lab for another episode, giving you our top early 2026 sell high candidates. I'm your host, Seth Wilcock, still supposed to be boarding a plane to Mobile in just over 24 hours from now. So fingers crossed they're able to get some birds in the sky. We got about 10 to 20 more inches coming my way between now and then. And, of course, I'm joined by a man who's a very frequent flyer himself. He is also on Pins and Needles today, as we'll see his New England Patriots take on the Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game. He's Boston's boy, Steven Lawson. Steve, how are you? What's the anxiety level 1 to 10 today? We got a blizzard on deck and then some big ball games happening as well.
Anxiety's low right now for the Patriots because, as you know, yes, I am a Boston boy, but I am not. I am kind of a mercenary when it comes to who I cheer for. I cheer for my fantasy football team and almost nothing else. Normally, I'm taking overs throughout the season, as you know, when we bet. But if I'm taking the over/under of how many airplanes take off tomorrow and it's a half with you on them, I'm taking the under. I don't think you're getting off the ground, buddy. This storm is snowing us in. I hit the grocery store hard. I got all my snacks. I am ready to go, and I am going to watch football and movies all day today.
Yeah, dude, look, I would be all for the storm if this wasn't like the one weekend. You know me, I never leave my house.
I know.
And here I am getting ready to board a very serious business trip. And it doesn't look like we're going to get off the ground, but we'll see. You know, Pennsylvania up here, like Massachusetts, man, we're prepared for this stuff, right? We got plows out. We got people doing the good work out there. So hopefully we can. We shall see. That will of course, keep any Senior Bowl content that I have down there for you kind of in the mix right now. But we'll see what happens with that, my friend. Thank you for being here today as we get things started. As always, shout out to all the wonderful folks who are out there across the internet tuning in. We really, really appreciate you. Please do us a quick favor. If you enjoy this type of content, make sure you're giving this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new as well. We're trying to get to 2K subscribers by the NFL draft, and we can only do that with your help. Also, don't forget to check out the IBT Football family. That is our exclusive community where you can get access to chat with our analysts and our favorite fans. And you're going to get entry into our memorabilia giveaways at no cost. So whether you have dynasty questions, redraft questions, NFL, college football gambling questions, we got you covered over there. And if you want to get access to our full betting cards that we release every single week, plus the touchdown call contest, you can upgrade for $3.99 per month or $36 for the year. That's also going to include unlocking some benefits to our racing, golf, and entertainment family with all the tools, contests, and chats that we have over there, including the NASCAR head-to-head matchup contest, the PGA one-and-done competition, and of course, the Survivor Fantasy League starting off here very soon as well. You can join for free now at .com/chat or with the link in the episode description. Steve, a lot of stuff happening right here across the football, entertainment, golf, and of course, the racing family right now, my friend.
Yeah, channel's growing really exciting in a lot of exciting ways. It's so cool that just 2 years ago when I joined, we were still finding our footing and finding our way. And now we have all these families and we have all these people that we're talking to and growing with, these people, these amazing viewers that have come and kind of joined us for the ride. So it's really cool to be able to do something unique for them.
I agree. I love chatting with everyone. I love competing with everyone in the different contests we have too. It's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to build that community, right? Because that's why we want to do this. We want to have that community of people who think like us, where at the end of the day, yes, we want to win fantasy football championships. Yes, we want to win cash from betting, but at the same time, we want to have fun doing it, right? Because what's the point if we're not having fun? So you embody that. This entire staff embodies that, and every one of our listeners and people over there in the community also value that. So I really appreciate that. It's been growing like a weed pretty much every single day. We're having someone new jump in. So go ahead, be the next one. We want to hang out with you guys after the shows as well. Let's go ahead and fire it up, though. We got Dynasty Sell High cans to talk about right now in Headline Hijinks. Well, Steve, it's about every offseason this time that some players start really peaking in their value, right? And while it is one of the tougher times to sell some of your veteran assets, it's also one where people are willing to wheel and deal at the same time, right? And you can really get a player who's overvalued out there in the market and get them off your team and get some capital coming back for you. So we're going to start there with our sell high candidates. And I'm going to start with a guy who been one of the biggest risers over the past 30 days on Keep Trade Cut. Right now up to QB 30 on Keep Trade Cut, 161 overall. He's also QB 30 in the Fantasy Pros Superflex Dynasty rankings, 152 overall. That's above players in the range of Caleb Johnson, Tony Pollard, Kenneth Gainwell, and a mid to late second round pick. And of course, it's Malik Willis. What you talking about, Willis? Did I do that right, Steve? What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah, it was pretty good. I thought it was all right.
What show is that? Do you know what show that is? Is that Urkel? Is that Urkel?
No, I don't know. It's not Urkel. I think it might be. I forget what it is. It's an old show. It's Gary Coleman.
Okay. Gary Coleman. There you go. Well, when it comes to Willis, like I'm just a little profounded that this is the value, Steve, for a player who's attempted 155 passes in his career. Like, yes, he had some pretty solid games this season, right? And like, I think we got to give him credit. He played valiantly against Chicago. Only 11 pass attempts, though. Had 9 for 11, 121 and 1 on the ground or through the air. And then the next week comes out in prime time. And I think a lot of people saw that game against Baltimore where it was 18 for 21. He had 288 yards, a touchdown. But we can't like forget too at the same time, like this is a guy that while he had over 100 rushing yards in those games, like they lost both those games, right? They got blown out by the Ravens. And it's one of those situations that, yes, he's a free agent. He could land somewhere, but I still think there's like 3 incoming rookies that I would give the starting job over him. And that includes Fernando, of course, Ty Simpson, and even like I would rather take Diego Pavia on like day 2 or day 3 and see what he has out there compared to Malik Willis. Like, yeah, and also like Steve, we have this like potential free agency crop of veterans that are out there that we didn't have in years past, right? Like you have these guys who are on a team right now, but I think are going to be cut. Kyler Murray, Tua. You have Daniel Jones coming back from injury after looking pretty good. Joe Flacco's always around. Aaron Rodgers, potentially, if he has one more ride in him. So, like, I just don't know if there's a starting spot for Malik Willis out there. And he's priced like he's going to likely be a starter. And, like, we also saw, Steve, you and I were 2 guys who very high on Justin Fields, really just the situation, the fantasy points he can provide. But we know with these rushing first style of quarterbacks who aren't the most graceful, most developed as a passer, their value comes and goes like this, right? Like my brother last year, I remember early in the season, he got a first-round pick in Superflex for Justin Fields. Like, we're not there yet with Malik Willis, but we're about halfway there, right? So for me, like, if I have Malik Willis and someone's willing to give me a 3rd-round pick where I can take a shot on another quarterback like Pavia, right? Plus a rotation player that I can put on my lineup or on my roster and get into my lineup, like the Dalton Schultzes of the world, the Isaiah Pacheco's. Those guys are still behind Willis. So I think you could get a 3rd-round pick and something like that. Like, I'm going to take a shot on one of those players that I've seen be productive and a younger player rather than a 27-year-old quarterback who could be a bridge if nothing else. So, Steve, any thoughts on Malik Willis? Are you also looking to sell high if you have him, or do you actually want to acquire?
If it's a 3rd-round pick, I want to acquire. If it's a 2nd-round pick, then I'm selling high. But I know this is kind of coming on the heels of the Packers defensive coordinator gets named the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. Tua probably isn't going to be the Dolphins quarterback going into next season. And there's some talk of Malik Willis as a free agent going down to Miami, being that guy for them. Probably just a year, right? Probably just a bridge until the next guy takes over. But you never know. I mean, 27 years old is still fairly young for a quarterback. I think especially out of the Packers system, you see guys sit for a long time in Green Bay. That's just Rodgers sat, Love sat, and now Willis has sat, even though he was not drafted by the Packers. I do think a lot of his success is Matt LaFleur based. I think that guy is an incredible
good point.
like schemer for quarterbacks, because Malik Willis is not a 18 of 21 passer. That's just not what he's going to be able to do. Like, that's way too high of a bar to set for him. But I do think that he has some value if he signs somewhere like Miami. But if you can get a second round pick for him, yeah, you got to sell him.
Yeah, it's so funny looking back at that 2021 draft class, Steve. I was in Las Vegas at that point for that draft, and it was Kenny Pickett and it was Malik Willis. It's a bunch of guys who aren't in the league anymore, didn't even really get a cup of coffee, other than, of course, Brock Purdy, right? He was the guy, the sneaky pick in that draft. So yeah, it's funny. It's crazy how the cards have turned, but I just am afraid that Malik is a bit more closer to the Kenny Pickett's of the world than he is obviously the Brock Purdy's. And I just want to get out while there is some values still there, because you likely either grab them from nothing off free agency the last couple of years, or you've been holding them for a while, right? Like you've been guys since then. So time to cash out for me on Malik Willis. Steve, you're going to take us to Indianapolis with your first pick, and it's a player like Malik Willis who is an unrestricted free agent, so could make some moves potentially this offseason and get a bag, but also maybe that isn't where you want to be holding on to him too.
Yeah, no, it's my headline is taking another little Pierce in my heart, little Janis Joplin reference there. Alec Pierce is a free agent, as you said, and there's rumors that he's going to go for $25 million a year in average annual value to whatever team signs him. Now, I have been a big Alec Pierce believer on this show. I love Alec Pierce as a player, as a receiver, but I don't love him at $25 million a year. And I don't love that he may go somewhere and become the number one, right? Like, I don't dislike it, but what I like more is that if he does that, and the rumors that he is going to do that means that his dynasty value is higher than it probably ever will be, because he's not going to live up to $25 million a year. He's not going to live up to being a number one guy. I think we spoke about this player before the show. Christian Kirk comes to mind.
Yeah.
He's going to get a Christian Kirk bag, but he'll deliver, 800, 900 yards.
Yeah.
He's still a deep ball guy. He can do other things.
Yeah.
But he's a deep ball guy. And I don't want to put my faith in that. You know what I mean? That's just, it just seems like a recipe for disaster. So if I can get someone to maybe drink the juice a bit on Alec Pierce and send me a early second kind of deal, I think I'm going to take that. Or I mean, at some point his value is going to get so high, and maybe I'm early on this, but bookmark this now, because when he signs somewhere, and he's not going to sign in Indianapolis, I think he's going to sign somewhere that needs that number one, or thinks they need that. They think he's it, and he's going to have this value that goes just bonkers high.
Yeah. It's very, very true, man. And you attest a lot of his success to the deep playability. And while we want those high value, high leverage targets for fantasy, right? Number one in ADOT, or number two in ADOT among all receivers this year, 19.0, number one in air yard share as well. But then you look he's not really a huge red zone target, right? He was 50th in the NFL with ninth of them. Yeah. And then to your point as well, this is a guy who gets no schemed up touches for him. He had 0 design targets this season, which, while you don't want in my opinion, a Luther Burden type who only gets a ton of scheme touches, you want a guy who is going to get at least a couple of those looks a game, right? So for me, Alec Pierce, I think he's almost right where you're saying right now. Right now, Keep Trade Cut has him just above a 2026 early second. So he's almost in that first round category. A couple players around him, Steve, if you're in the win now category, Devontae Adams doesn't sound too bad if you want to take a shot on Matthew Golden, Michael Penix Jr., JJ McCarthy, Christian Watson, DeAndre Swift. That's kind of the player tier he's in, which honestly, all those guys feel a bit steadier, right? You go a couple spots above. It's Stafford, it's DK Metcalf, it's players like that. So I absolutely don't mind moving off Alec Pierce here. Like, what's best case scenario for him? Like, I think it's almost to come back to the Colts, right? And then them to kind of bring back Daniel Jones. And I just don't know if that happens because I don't think they're going to pay him.
I think best case scenario is like, if we're talking about like who he could be, this is going to sound blasphemous when I say this. So everyone just sit down for a second and relax and let me talk before you yell at me. DK Metcalf is Alec Pierce's best case scenario.
Yeah,
they don't look alike.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't look alike, right? Like, I know DK is like a physical freak.
Yeah.
But they're the same person. They're deep ball mavens that don't have good route running skills, that are big bodied, strong guys, can make that catch over the middle, can make things happen with the ball in their hands, but frequently don't. So
and I would say DK much better yards after the catch guy than Alec Pierce too, right? Like, that's why he's so high in the air yard share. Like, DK can take a slant to the house, so you don't see that much from Alec Pierce.
Right. You don't see it much. You don't see it as much from DK as you should either. Like, so I think, but what I mean is like production wise, we're looking at guys that's like, why aren't they getting more? Why isn't it better? Like DK's best season is like what, 1,200, like 1,100 yards and a few touchdowns. So that's kind of what you're looking at as his ceiling. He's never going to be a 1,400 yard guy with 85 catches and all that stuff. Yep. It's just not his style. But best case landing spot, I mean, you're looking Baltimore, New England, somewhere like that where he can be a focal point a bit, but
it's fair. Very fair. I'll go to my next sell high, Steve, and it's double martini. Hold the Olave, please. And make sure, again, we're using our manners when we're speaking to our bartenders. I've never had a martini. I'll tell you this, though. I would probably, if I'm going to have one, might as well make it a double as usual, right? And then also, like, I like olives, but just not in a drink. I also am more a black olives than a green olive guy. And like, I'm kind of feeling similar about Chris Olave. Like, he's the green olive here because like, I love this guy as much as anyone. Like, I had a ton of exposure to him back in the 2022 Dynasty rookie drafts. Finally got in on him this past year again from a redraft perspective. After his rookie year, Steve, I didn't have Olave for like 2 or 3 seasons in a row because I just couldn't afford him. I thought he was an overpay at what he was going for. You know, that late second, early third round range. But now he's coming in off a career best wide receiver 6 overall finish, career highs across the board, 156 targets, 100 receptions, nearly 1,200 yards and 9 touchdowns. But what if it's just that, man? Like, what if it's just a career year? And he's already been dealing with blood clots, which, as you know, never great, has a history of those concussions as well. Plus, like, what do we know about the Saints team for next year? We don't know much. Like, we know that Tyler Shuck's probably going to get another year as a starter as he deserves. But can he keep this job past the talented 2027 rookie class coming in, right? And I'd also have to imagine, like, Kellen Moore couldn't run the ball last year because Alvin Kamara was not effective, and then he was turning to Devin Neal, and it just didn't work out, right? I mean, and then Devin Neal got banged up even when he was working out. They have to turn to Estime, right? So I imagine Kellen Moore is going to want to get back to that downhill power run scheme that we saw previously in Philadelphia. So he could find a good rookie running back, maybe take some touches away from the entire passing game. And then also, like, I don't know about you, Steve, but I've seen a ton of mock drafts right now with them potentially taking a Carnell Tate in the first round, or a Mekhi Lemon, someone like that. So, like, I just want to capitalize on Olave's value right now. Wide receiver 15, 40th overall player on keep trade cut. That's higher than players like CJ Stroud, Bucky Irving, Colston Loveland, Christian McCaffrey, if you're winning now, Breece Hall, Lad McConkey, Roma Dunze. Like, these are legit young guys with like top 5 upside, or guys who can help you win now. So, like, he's also in that early 2026 category right now too, where you could probably get him or sell him away for, you know, a top 3, a top 5 pick right now in draft. So FP Dynasty rankings, they push him up even higher, man. They have him above players like Brock Bowers, Garrett Wilson, and Emeka Buka and Travion Henderson. So I just think now is the time. Get the Olave out of the glass, man, and pass it down the wood top. What do you think here? Are you also in on selling Chris Olave for this price tag?
Yes, I am. I do think this was just like a career year. Everything went right. Like, everything that could go right for him did. Yes. They had to throw a ton. They couldn't run the ball. There was no one else there to catch the ball. It was, you know, and it also came in weird spurts. If you had Olave on your fantasy teams this year, you realize there was a lot of times, like, going into the fourth quarter, he'd have like 2 catches for like 15 yards, and then he'd end up with like 7 for 75. and that's just a recipe of like, hey, we're kind of in, garbage time. We got to chuck the ball and just keep throwing it to Olave. So yeah, I think this was just everything came together for Chris Olave this year. I don't think he'll quite reach this again. I don't think he's a 100 catch, 1,200 yard, 9 touchdown kind of guy. And I don't think Tyler Shuck's that quarterback that's going to be able to just make that happen for him consistently. So yeah, I'm with you, especially if he's getting early first round pick return. Yeah, I'd sell that in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I think he's a guy who can have 1,000 yards pretty annually, but the 9 touchdowns, you look at his past seasons, huge outlier. I mean, that's almost double the career touchdowns I'm pretty sure this guy's had, right? I mean, it's been absurd. So yeah, I love Chris Olave, the player. I just, in Dynasty, sometimes you have to put your bias and your, agreement and like of a player just aside and just take the draft capital, right? Take the overall value. That's how you keep whirling and burning and churning over rosters and keeping value strong on your Dynasty team. Steve, you have another player who had a semi breakout at opportunities this year, but also kind of down the stretch has faded a little bit. What do you have coming from a player that we'll actually see today in the AFC Championship game?
Yeah, Troy story. The Troy Franklin experiment in Denver has been up and down for his first 2 years, to say the least. He has the physical tools, it seems like, but I mean, this is his college quarterback that he's not producing. You know what I mean? Like, they played together, and it's like, why isn't this happening? Why does he keep fading? Like, he pops off and then he like disappears, and he comes back 40 weeks later and has a great game, and then he disappears, and it's like, it just is so inconsistent for me that I'm like, you know what? Someone out there will believe he's still so young. Someone out there will believe in the talent or in the intangibles and all that stuff. It's just not me. And I don't want to be the guy who's left kind of holding the bag at the end of this, being like, it's worthless now. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I should have gotten out while I had the chance. I don't think you're going to fetch a ton for him, but if I can get a second round pick for him, like,
that's where he's going. Yeah.
So like, I'd take that.
Yeah. I'm with you, Steve, because like you look at, again, he's another guy, unlike Alec Pierce, he doesn't play as many snaps. Like, his snap share is down at 60.2% this year. That's 69th among wide receivers. Like, we saw Marvin Mims. We saw them try to get involved with the rookie as well, Pat. So it's like, I just don't know if he's ever going to be an every down player. We know how Sean McVay is kind of like at this wide receiver 2 spot, and they could also add someone in the draft, right? That we've heard those rumblings for sure. I saw Casey Concepcion. I know a player that you're pretty fond of from the college streets, mocked here a couple times, and I do like the fact that he is a guy, like, unlike Pierce, he's going to get more design targets, right? He had the 4th most per game this season, so that's good. But he's another person who's pretty high in ADOT, right? I don't see a ton of intermediate, not a lot of first read share targets to him as well. And right now, like, he is going for a mid 2026 second rounder. Other players in that range, Steve, and stop me when I get to a player you would not rather have than him, okay?
Yeah.
Terry McLaurin. Even though he's older, I'll take Terry. I hate to say it, but just because he's more talented, and if you can get out of Chicago, DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore's established. He's still only 28.
Yep.
Couple other ones. We talked about Parker Washington a couple weeks ago. I'll take Parker Washington because he.
Yep.
Another guy right kind of in this range, Cortland Sutton. Like, Cortland Sutton's right in this range. Even though he's 30, we know Cortland Sutton's at least a bit more consistent.
Yep.
Woody Marks, Xavier Worthy, that's kind of like the tier he's almost tottering in. It might take like a Troy Franklin plus like a taxi squad guy to get up to one of those guys above him. But I mean, dude, I'll take the second round pick. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, this is a pretty deep set. Like, you could go out there in the second round and really grab one of these like Penn State running backs potentially, or a Jonah Coleman type of running back. And if an Eli Stowers falls that far, like, there are some decent players that are going to be popping up here in the mid-second round. And the thing I probably like the best, Steve, is like, what do you think like you could get if you sold like an Alec Pierce plus a Troy Franklin? Like, you're getting like a mid-first. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, it'd have to be someone who's like contending and they just kind of want the depth there, right? But I think you could easily get yourself a Troy Franklin plus something and get into that first round conversation, which is kind of where I'm trying to live right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the best strategy for Dynasty. Like, and one thing I always try to tell people when it comes to Dynasty is don't think 10 years ahead. Don't think like you think 3 years ahead, because that's
Yeah.
about the length of
Yep.
time that like Dynasty leagues can even last. So
And
like,
so much can change. Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't even mind like packaging maybe Pierce and Franklin up and going for a 27 first, even.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because that's a real deep class with a lot of talent coming out. So I'm gonna try to start stocking up on those
Good
27
point.
first
Good
round
point.
picks.
Yep. Yeah, I totally agree. If you need a quarterback or a wide receiver for 20, and even the running backs with guys like Smothers potentially coming out, and Ahmad Hardy, Cedric Alexander, like there are some backs down there
Yeah.
that could really pop off this next year in college football. So I just like having the ticket, man. It makes college a little more fun to root for. Yeah, I
Yeah.
just like having those tickets, and like Jeremiah Smith's going to command a lot. And hey, even if you want to start trading in that 2028 market, Malachi Toney, this guy is awesome. Like, I don't know how Bryce Underwood in that quarterback class is going to pan out eventually, but I'll tell you what, man, Malachi Toney, that guy did everything to put Miami in position to win a national championship game. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm here for it a lot, man. Steve, thank you so much for all your work, man, that you do, not just at the In Between Fantasy Football podcast, but also In Between Media as a whole. We have so much great content coming for everyone: fantasy football, NFL betting coverage, college football betting, NASCAR betting, PGA betting, entertainment betting, all to help you cash more and enjoy the ride along the way. Please do us a quick favor. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Also, make sure you're subscribing to the channel if you're new as well. Steve, what do we have coming on the entertainment side this week? I know I'll be away for most of the week, as I will be traveling, hopefully at some point. We have this video dropping, so that's pretty much it for the football content. But then I know we'll have Busch Light Clash, first exhibition NASCAR race, betting odds picks coming out with Elliot and Chris. And then we'll also have Jake and Ian over on the PGA side, getting things going for the farmers. What do you have coming up for the entertainment side?
Yeah, we got a Royal Rumble preview for our WWE fans, and we also have a reaction video to the movie Constantine as we continue Keanuary, or wrap up Keanuary, I should say, with our second Keanu Reeves movie. If you're a movie fan, honestly, Popcorn and Root Beer is the place to be, because we are breaking down, honestly, some deep cut movies, which is really fun. We'll do some really popular new ones. We'll go back in time a bit to, things like Constantine. We just did The Replacements 2 weeks ago with Cassie, and that was amazing. So I think that if you like movies, are looking for new movies maybe to watch, or just want to kind of break down movies in a unique, fun way, Popcorn and Root Beer is the place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of great entertainment betting content over there too. We just did our Survivor 50 picks, odds, and predictions episode with Rob last week too. That was so much fun. So dude,
yeah, that was great.
Yeah, there's just so much good stuff happening at in-betweenmedia.com as well. Dope written content coming for you. I think we'll have an NFL mock draft article from Phil up this week that should be interesting. He's a guy very plugged into the college scene. So excited to see where he can put some of these rookies in the first round. And then also in-betweenmedia.com/chat. That, of course, is the community you can get access to everything we have going on. Again, a lot of free stuff. The Prop Decks playoff tournament is free right now. If you still want to join over there, still time to win it. No one's really running away with this thing other than Steve. That does have a little bit of lead for first. And then, of course, the IBT Racing family will have the head-to-head contest kicking off here very soon. The IBT Entertainment Family Survivor 50 League, free to join right now. A lot of fun going to be happening over there. So if you want to play a Survivor Fantasy League with Rob, myself, Steve, everyone over here from IBT and our great listeners, you can. And then the IBT Golf family, of course, as well. We have the one and done competition, which is going to be free to join as well, with all the giveaways we're doing over there. As you said, Keanuary continuing, and I think giveaway season continuing too. Christmas doesn't stop here. We keep them rolling, giving out the free stuff. So Steve, great stuff as always. Thank you so much, everyone. Be safe this week. We are wishing our thoughts and prayers are with you. Hoping everyone stays safe. Don't be an idiot when you're driving. Let's just take it slow. No one's got to be in a rush this week. Look after yourself. Hope everyone's power stays on. All that good stuff. For my friend Steven Lawson, I'm Seth Woolcock. Keep it in between. Until next time, y'all. Thank you.